Alright, so I recently watched a few YouTube videos that have led me to believe that I have pathological avoidance disorder. No, wait. Pathological demand avoidance. Oh my god, Kaylee. Sorry. My dog. And I found a test for PDA test for adults, and I'm gonna do it and film that, I guess. I'm also undiagnosed autistic, but self-diagnosed. Hopefully real diagnosed someday soon. Okay, so 1, do you find it difficult to do simple things that other people seem to find easy? Yes. Does praise always make you feel good? Only if I don't have to respond to it. Like, if I receive praise online where I can't see the other person and they can't see me, or if I can only see them, I feel like it really gets me like giddy inside, and sometimes I almost cry about it because I'm just like, wow. But IRL, it's definitely more difficult. Like, I'm better at taking a compliment than I ever was, but like, I'm not gonna shut it down anymore if someone compliments me, but it makes me feel good, but it makes me feel nervous. So I'll just say no, I guess. I hate all of these tests because, like, anything to do with mental health where it's like yes or no, I'm like, it's always somewhere in between for me. And like, I'll have a whole explanation why, but there's nowhere to put that. So I actually, on my like ADHD test, like actual paper one that I did for like the doctors, I like wrote in the little margins to elaborate because I'm not okay with yes or no as my options. Maybe that's part of PDA, I don't know. Do you find it easier to do tasks that you have to do as opposed to optional tasks? Absolutely not. I literally wrote about this today in my journal, I'm pretty sure. Why do I have such a resistance to trying to... Oh, no. Oh, that's not it. Oh, here we go. I feel like I live for doing things that aren't a priority. So there we go. Do you find it more difficult to complete tasks when people are watching? Yes, but I've tried to get used to it. I'm an artist, kind of, and man, like, when people want to watch me and I don't know what I'm doing, like if I don't have it all planned out, it's the death of me. But people always want to fucking watch you draw. I don't know why, but I mean, I get it. I also like watching people draw, I guess, but like live, like right there, just gonna look. I don't know how I got through art school, man, but I did most of my work at home or like away from other people, and I try to work alone the most possible because or else I can't like focus usually unless I have like an outline done and the outline is good to me, and then I don't have to fuck anything up in front of anyone. I can just be doing like lining and coloring, whatever. That's fine. People can watch that if they really want to for some reason. But I've been practicing because especially children want to watch, and like my friends' kids will just come and watch and be like, oh my god, look at that. And I'm like, you know, they're impressed by it, and I know that, so it's okay. I don't like freak out about what they're thinking about it, so that's been good practice. Do you feel the need to take control but dislike being placed in charge? Yes. I always wondered why I always want to be in control of everything, and yet I like really, like, I do hold some leadership positions that I've chosen for myself, But I feel like when other people are like, you're in charge of this group, or like, do you want to be in charge of this group, especially if it's like a work thing, like, especially if it's like more work with the same pay or very little extra, or like not enough just in my mind. Absolutely freaking not. I do not want to do extra work and be in charge of people. It sucks being in charge of people. Because I mostly just, like, in group projects as a kid, I would just do the whole thing myself. Which probably was, like, kind of offensive to some of the people that I worked with in hindsight, because it's like, oh, you thought my work was so shit that you'd read it yourself. But I did not see it that way when I was young, and I've gotten maybe slightly better, but it's a stressor. Like, it's very hard to work collaboratively unless the person, like, fucking just gets you. And I would love, ironically, to collaborate with people. I always want people to collaborate with me on art, but it has to be the right person.
I just thought you, fellow captain, would understand.
Do you find it helpful if someone reminds you to do a task? It depends on the way that they remind me. Like, if I ask someone, can you please remind me to, like, put this away, or, like, I feel like it's more like I like it when people find things for me. That's super useful, and I really like that might be my love language, actually, is experiencing not being able to find something for what feels like an eternity, but isn't, but feels like it, and someone being like, oh, it's right here, and even if I feel really stupid for not seeing it, blessed. I feel blessed. So I guess that's not really reminding someone to do a task. If I've genuinely forgotten, maybe I appreciate it, but usually I haven't, so usually I'm offended. So no, I guess I don't find it helpful. Do you feel unable to control your reactions in a situation despite past experience? Yes. Especially if it's around family. Do you feel like others are always wrong, even though you know logically that isn't true? Honestly, kind of. I don't feel that way about everyone, but it's like, other than people that I've handpicked to be really, like, close to in my life, or, like, the second I find out somebody does not share a majority of my values, usually simply by being majorly conservative, I think they're wrong. And I know that logically that's actually not true, because there could be so many shared things, and, you know, we're all human and stuff, but I do feel like I feel right a lot of the times, which I don't like, but it's how I feel. I don't know if that's a real feeling, but I think righteousness is a feeling. I feel like I feel that way too much. Luckily, I think about it, though, so hopefully I don't act like a total fucking asshole. I'm just gonna say yes. Do you dislike imposed routine? Kind of. Like, it's like a blessing in disguise, because I don't do very good at creating my own routine, but I do feel like I do better on a routine. I don't know. I hated like my parents being in charge of me as a kid in terms of like what to do and stuff. But I don't really mind the way that like things are imposed at school. That's kind of a lie. And I hate it at work. I feel like I only dealt with it in school because it was just like, it is what it is. But it doesn't mean I didn't complain about those 8 a.m. starts. Blech. Okay, so yes, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to decide for myself. Have you ever struggled in work or school due to the amount of work required of you? Yes. More so with work, but I think I did struggle in school, but I liked it because it was a distraction from everything else in my life, and I like to be distracted and focus on things, and I'm a workaholic, I'm pretty sure, so.
Hey, Meg? You okay in there?
Yeah, come on in.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
Do you tend to avoid routine tasks on a regular basis, such as washing, eating, dressing, sleeping, and going out? Absolutely. Especially anything like... I was gonna say everything there except going out, but I totally do struggle to go out. Like, I like it when I get there, but man, I don't want to commit to that shit. I'm a disgusting person. I like being clean, but I don't like washing because of, I don't know, the perceived effort for me of having to do that is not. Do you find
And the stuff I am proud of is disgusting.
it easy to do things you enjoy, such as hobbies or interests? Like no and yes. I'm just gonna say yes because I love doing what I love to do if I feel like doing it, but I don't necessarily always feel like doing it, so then it feels like work. Like everything that I enjoy can also feel like work. So, have you struggled to tell when you're feeling anxious or believed you were rarely anxious? Maybe before I had a anxiety diagnosis, which I got when I was 18 or 19, so I would say no. I feel like I know. I mean, I definitely think I used to not think that. I used to only think I was depressed. But it turns out I'm more anxious than I am depressed, kind of. And even if I have depression, my anxiety reigns over it. Are you often anxious or on edge? Yep. Do you feel anxious when pressured to do something even if it's easy? Yes. Don't freaking pressure me. Don't do it. I think me and my dad both struggle with that, and we both pressure each other. You can take a guess. Do you spend more time delaying or avoiding a task than it would take to actually do it? Probably. Actually, absolutely, because I spend a lot of time thinking about things. A lot! To the point where it feels like I've already done it because I've thought about it so much and then I realize I haven't. Are there days where you can do lots of tasks and days where you struggle with simple things such as dressing and eating? Yes. But I usually will do it anyways. I'm pretty good at forcing myself to do things. Although I also have not worked a regular, job in a year now, so that affects that, I think. I can kind of get away with not really dressing myself most days, and I work with animals, so they don't care what I look like, and I don't want them to wreck my nice clothes, so I often wear just what I wore to bed.
It's disgusting.
I said I'm gross. Do you feel automatically driven to behave like a different person when in a public setting, like you're wearing a mask? Yes. Although I try lately to do that less. I guess I'm trying to unmask, but I don't. I so subconsciously mask that it's hard to consciously not do it. And I guess I try more to like unmask with like friends of mine that I've known for a while, not necessarily when I'm out in public, but also the only time I'm ever out in public is like to do drag shows. So obviously I have a mask on, like literally physically and mentally. Are you prone to panic attacks? I wouldn't say really. Like, I think that I occasionally am, but like I do not have the kind of panic attacks that I've seen other people have. Like, it doesn't make me puke or like pass out, or like I have a really hard time crying, so I don't do that either. Like, so I guess I have panic attacks that are like completely internal and where I just like kind of shut down, and maybe it feels kind of hard to breathe, but like not really. Like, I know that I'm breathing and I can, but like whenever I spiral really hard, I guess that could be considered that, but I just consider that my like regular anxiety, I think.
World peace achieved. Nice. A little weird to publish a paper about it for yourself.
Do you feel that everyone is equal regardless of age, race, gender, social status? Yes, and you're a fucking asshole if you don't. Have you had obsessions about certain people? For example, wanting to know everything about them, be around them all the time, feel jealous when they spend time with other people? Yes. Just ask my best friend. Hahaha. Do you make up new words sometimes for things or people, or deliberately mispronounced words? Yeah. Like, not as much as some other people. Like, my dad and sister, like, I swear to God, have their own freaking language, like, from when, like, my siblings were kids. And I don't know if I make new words, but I like making weird, like, unintentionally making weird statements, like, when I hate what someone's done, or like when I don't like what someone's done, I usually call them, what's my most recent one? Oh, a dickwad. I don't think I got that from anyone. Maybe I did. I'm sorry if I'm not crediting you if you're the creator of dickwad, but like, I'm always trying to find things that aren't like douchebag, or like anything that references anything technically vaginal. I'm like, nah, that's not an insult, buddy. And also, I'm like, calling someone a dick isn't like enough, you know? Sometimes dicks can be nice, but I don't know if you want a wad of dicks. Sounds pretty bad. Like, I'm gonna stop. Okay. Are you prone to hyper or silly behavior? Not around anyone. Unless I'm in drag. I do love making people laugh, but I'm not really like, I wouldn't say hyper. Pretty low energy. And I usually try and use that to my advantage for the silliness. I guess I'll say yes. I would say sometimes, if I was allowed to. Do you feel an impulsive need to get things done straight away? Absolutely. Even if I like don't actually get it done, it's like the second I realize that something at all needs to be done, like even like 4 months away, like taxes for me, I feel an impulsive need to do it right now. Like, even just saying that now, I'm like, maybe that I should get going on that after this, and we've got 3.5 months till they're due, and I have other shit that is way above taxes on my priority list. But as I said, I love to do things that have no immediate need to be done. And anything that immediately needs to be done, oh, good Lord. Do you need to be able to choose for yourself? I feel like that's been made clear already, yes. Does lack of choice make you feel out of control or panicky? Yes. Yes. Although, too much choice also makes me feel out of control and panicky. Do you like to do the same thing over and over until it becomes boring, then move on to something new? It depends. I mean, career-wise, I would like to be a tattoo artist who does drag, who makes fine arts and shows in galleries, and does animal care, and a writer. So none of those things are boring to me yet, but it's too many things at once, and if you know how to control that, please let me know, because I don't know how, and I don't want to not do any of those things. So but in terms of movies and media, absolutely, I've rewatched all of Naruto twice. If you don't know what that is, or you don't realize how many episodes there are, look it up. I've watched all of The Simpsons probably twice. Not that I paid full attention to every episode, because I also don't really like watching things without doing something. But, yeah, there's movies that I've rewatched at least 30 plus times, especially ones that I watched as a kid. I had an obsession with The Sound of Music when I was probably 12 or 11 or 12, and
the hills are alive with the sound.
I don't know how many times I watched that thing, but I'm sure my parents wanted to shoot themselves every time they heard it come on, because, man, oh man. Do you feel anxious, panicky if someone doesn't follow your instructions correctly, or when they deviate from the plan? Yes. Yes, I do. It makes me lose my mind, which I feel like makes me not a very good, boss or manager. In some ways it would, but in some ways I don't do well with putting up with slight deviancies. Do you like making changes in certain environments, such as rearranging the furniture in your home? Absolutely. When I used to live on my own or with roommates, I think I usually go through at least 4 rearrangements of all furniture in a year. I also move a lot, though. Sometimes I move multiple times in one year, so that's the rearranging. Right now I live with my parents, and so there will be none of that. But are you able to cope with waiting for things? No. I will, obviously, because you just have to, but I'm the most impatient fucker around. As a child, did you dislike being made to stand out, even if this was intended to make things easier for you? I don't know. Probably. I was really shy as a kid, but only till I was 8 or something, and then full flip. Just talk to anybody. Actually, even when I was really little, I would talk to adults, but I don't know. All I remember right now is that I love staring at people, and I feel like I made myself stand out, but less than now, but especially in my teens. If I can find a photo, I'll throw it. I was one goth-ass scene chiquita. I don't know why I said that. Sorry. Do you dislike being criticized, but are critical of others? Yeah. Yes. I'm especially self-critical, but I also am critical of others, which sucks. I don't like that about me.
No, and it's pronounced champagne.
Do you feel everyone should follow the rules all the time, even though you find it difficult to follow them yourself? Kind of, but I don't know how to explain it. I think that breaking the law is Gucci.
In this building.
Well, I've never been one to break the law, so long as...
But in terms of rules, if I cook, you do the dishes. yeah, I feel that everyone should follow that. Do you question rules, regulations, and laws? Absolutely, all the time. I think most of them suck ass. Have you ever been described as being manipulative? Probably. I think I would love to be in denial about manipulation, but like I think that a lot of the times my behavior is kind of manipulative because I want to be in control of things. Not to like mastermind anyone, but like to make myself feel comfortable and less anxious, and to avoid the unknown, especially in social interactions. And I feel like I can be manipulative with my parents because I feel like they owe me shit and they don't. But yeah, so I'll just put, yeah, like I don't think anyone's told me I've been manipulative, but I'm pretty sure that I at least used to have BPD. So do you cancel plans at last minute? I really try not to, but I definitely do. But I really try not to. Are you non-competitive so that you don't mind losing coming last? No, I'm so competitive. I do my best to not be, and I can sometimes control it, like by like just not really caring, but I kind of have to not care about like the second I'm into it, I'm competitive. Have you ever been described as controlling? Probably, not to my face, but do you daydream rich, imaginative words? I don't know. Oh, worlds. I was like, damn. My vocabulary is like, dude, I was thinking vocabulary being rich and imaginative. Dude, I don't know. Do I? I kind of feel like I mostly daydream, okay. I was gonna say dystopian freaky realities, but yeah, maybe. Another one where I feel like I'm gonna say no, actually, because I don't know. It would be maybe, but on the lower end of maybe. Fuck this, yes and no. Like, no offense to the creators of this. It's awesome that this exists, but have you used role play, pretend play to cope with tasks or social situations? Yes. Especially when I was a kid, until I got made fun of too much for doing it. I was a big pretend player. Everything was pretend. Everything is my shit, my life. I don't know how I continued on without it, but I did, and now I'm kind of a furry, so that makes sense. Has the thought of a task caused you so much anxiety it's felt impossible to even start it? Yeah. Literally everything. From brushing my teeth to fucking doing something I want to do. Are you unable to tell lies even if you want to delay or avoid things? I would say that usually I'm uncomfortably honest. I have a pretty hard time lying, especially if I have to come up with a lie. Like if someone's just if my parent was to be like, did you brush your teeth, in a I bet you didn't kind of way, and I didn't want them to know that I didn't, or even if I was gonna do it later anyways, maybe I would lie to get them to leave me alone or something. I lied about smoking when I started smoking. I literally was asked straight to my face if I had been smoking, and I was just like, no, even though I totally probably smelled like smoke, and I'm pretty sure my dad saw cigarettes in my pocket, but Yeah, I don't think I'm a very good liar, but I guess I do sometimes. So I will say no, because I'm not completely incapable. Do you feel constrained by social expectations, such as having to say please or thank you, or having to smile? Having to smile, yes. Saying please and thank you, no, because I literally lose my mind when people don't do that. So I guess that must be one of my, like, self-imposed rules that I think everyone should have to do. Do you struggle to admit it if someone tells you they think you've done something wrong? Yes, in the moment. Later, usually I can come around. Although I might still not admit it to them and just know it myself. It depends how much I know the person and, like, if they would even care. Do you feel unable to control your reaction to things emotionally and or physically? Yes, but I do my very freaking best, and I'm working on it, and I feel like eventually, like within a couple of years, I'll be able to almost entirely, is the hope. Like, you use charm to help with social negotiations. If I do say so myself. Like, I think whatever charm I do have, yes. But I would not say I have a considerable amount of that. Actually, that's something about me that I feel like I'm not very good at masking. Like, my monotony and stuff like that, like, I really struggle to, like, bother with inflection. Do you feel drawn to people but then find them irritating? 1,000,000,000%. I fucking hate that about me. Because I freaking love people. And I don't think there's ever been anyone I've ever met in my life where I've gotten to actually know them, where I don't find them irritating. And it is... I don't know. I might have to be single for the rest of my life, but I really freaking don't want that. So I don't know what to do. I gotta get better at dealing with that, but fuck.
I'm gonna be the one guy with 3 cats who's single forever.
Do you feel angry or annoyed if a task requires more time or energy than you expected? Yes, and it usually does. And I have really, really bad time blindness. I've been realizing how significantly bad recently because I thought that walks I was taking through the park behind my parents' house have been taking like 5 minutes across and 5 minutes back. It's only 2 minutes. I mean, I guess that's not that bad. That's not that significant, but it's just like I've been measuring like walking time with that mindset. So in my mind, something takes 15 minutes to get there, and I'm like, oh, so far away. But by that logic, it would only take 6. So, I gotta walk more. Okay, we're almost done. Almost done with my rambling. Do you tend to not tell other people when starting a new project because others knowing makes it harder for you to complete it? Yes and no. I have this weird thing where I like to surprise people, and I feel like it's not exciting if it's not a surprise. Like, I hated telling teachers in art school what my plans were for a project, but I had to. It was literally like, that's the whole point, is that you talk through it before you set out working on it, because they might want you to make changes. And I fucking hated it. I hated it. I just wanted it to be exciting, okay? So, I don't know. It can make it harder to complete. There's been things that I've told people that I was setting out to do. I didn't do that or did not complete it. But I feel like I struggle even if I don't tell people, so I would say sure. Do you feel a need to control your environment often to ensure things go as you prefer them to? Yes. Yes, that is why I like living alone. Even if it's so fucking lonely and makes my depression so fucking bad. It's still the best of the options. Okay. So, Okay, so the next part I'm doing is the autism part, and then I will reveal the answers.
Forever, 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 forever.